Every journey starts with love.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
Winning matters, especially after an accident. At calljacob.com, we're here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to calljacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
710 ESPN.
KSPN, Los Angeles.
A Good Karma Brands radio station. This is Lakers Talk on 710 ESPN.
Where Lakers fans tap in for all the latest surrounding the purple and gold.
So it stands to reason that Jeannie Buss would not be okay with this sale if she did not feel pretty comfortable with Mark Walter. I'm assuming that's the case, and that's awesome, because after everything the Buss family has done with this organization, after everything Jeannie has done with this organization, I'm glad that she will be comfortable with the next chapter.
It's an off-season edition of Lakers Talk on 710.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute. When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today.
An off-season edition of Lakers Talk is on.
Here's Andy Kamenetzky.
What is up, Lakers fans? NBA free agency is officially upon us. I am not going to lie. Andy Kamenetzky, Lakers Talk, ESPN LA 710. Because I have been doing this for so damn long and certain dates get ingrained into your head, I am so used to everything beginning at like either 12:01 July 1st or in the evening of July 30th, where it is like technically July 1st on the East Coast, but you're still in June 30th. I had kind of forgotten for a little while today that, like, no, really, the bleep all starts fast and furious today. And I just got back from a volleyball tournament with my daughter, her club team. We were in Arizona for 5 days. My mind is kind of jelly right now, but I do not care because free agency is upon us. This is exciting stuff right now. Maybe not as exciting right now for the Lakers in terms of the moves that have been made, not made, but there's still a lot of time. The Lakers were not necessarily predicted to be big-time players in free agency, but there's some interesting stuff going on with the Lakers regardless. Got some good guests coming up tonight. 6:30, we're going to talk with Matt Peralta from Lakers Nation, one of the many Lakers Nation's friends of the show. They are obviously all over everything with the Lakers in free agency. Trade season hopefully now really starting up. So that's going to be at 6:30 with Matt Peralta. Then 7:15, Shawn Davis, the host of the Los Angeles Lakers Network. You can subscribe to the show on YouTube. Shawn is one of the best out there in terms of covering this team, breaking down X's and O's, on-court fits, stuff like that. So we're going to be talking with Shawn at 7:15, and there is a lot to break down today, including some of the stuff that we don't even know we're going to be breaking down. Like over the next couple hours, we may all of a sudden be breaking down some news that we had no idea was coming our way, and me and Funchy is DeAndre.
Might have to turn into Tom Brokaw or something.
We might be turning into Tom Brokaw. You know what we're going to be? No, we're going to be like Bill O'Reilly.
Oh, wow.
Because we're going to be doing it live. We're going to do it live, like Bill. Yeah. Like Bill O'Reilly. Funchy's going to be here. The kids in the back with the social media are going to be here. Is DeAndre sticking around or is he gone?
He's doing a Lakers Daily video right now. So he's
I cannot believe DeAndre would stab me in the back
during
like
your
this.
show.
It is the opening night of free agency, and DeAndre is prioritizing
himself.
Lakers Talk Daily, which can be, look,
himself.
I love Lakers Talk Daily. I watch it. I have been very, very encouraging of DeAndre's career. I've been a guest on Lakers Talk Daily, but damn it, DeAndre, like this is my time of need, and you're running off doing your show that could be done at any point. But DeAndre bailing. Look at him. He's walking to the studio right now.
He heard himself get called out on the air.
So there could be free agents all of a sudden connected to the Lakers that we're not anticipating.
I am here doing the show. I am here for AK and Lakers talk.
Right there.
I just got to record a couple audio stuff.
Okay,
I got to take care of some stuff. That's all.
All right.
That is it.
So I would like to think that my protege has not completely stabbed the mentor in the back. The free agency, by the way, does not include for the Lakers Dorian Finney-Smith. He has signed with, or reportedly will sign, none of this is official yet, but reportedly will sign with the loaded as bleep Houston Rockets. 4 years, about 52, I believe, something like that.
Yes.
It's about mid-level money. 4 years for Dorian Finney-Smith as he ages, and I think this is really interesting for the Lakers moving forward. That deal ends when DFS is 36. I think DFS is actually older than a lot of fans realize. I know I forget that. But he is now going to be with Houston. He is theoretically being replaced kind of with Jake Laravia, Austin Reaves' buddy, who was actually a big recruiter, I believe, of Jake Laravia. Maybe may have played a role in getting Laravia here. He played last season with the Grizzlies and the Kings. He is a good shooter, at least he was last season. Career year from behind the arc, 42% from three. Low-ish volume, but that is something that he has been looking to do over his career, shoot threes. He is a willing defender. I've gotten a bit of scouting on him that I will get into. It's a 2-year, $12 million deal, which in and of itself I think is a signal, at least potentially, with what the Lakers may be doing for this season, how they are approaching the Luka era. DeAndre Ayton has suddenly become a live possibility for the Lakers, having very surprisingly agreed to a buyout with the Portland Trail Blazers. So he's a free agent. He's going to make a bleep ton of money, doing quite literally anything other than working for the Portland Trail Blazers, which is a goal all of us should aspire to, make tens of millions of dollars by not working for the people paying you tens of millions of dollars. Life goals for all of us. So DeAndre Ayton could be a live possibility. Center signing. The Lakers are now, because DFS walked, they are equipped with a full mid-level exception. They used part of that on Jake Laravia. So we're going to be breaking down all of that and your calls, 877-710-ESPN. But the biggest news, obviously, LeBron James opted into his player option worth $52 million and change. He's going to be under contract with the Lakers for his 23rd season, age 41. But everything doesn't seem resolved right now, or entirely resolved, with LeBron and the Lakers. There were some comments from his agent, Rich Paul, which are being interpreted by many as potentially laying the groundwork for a trade request, or at the very least applying external pressure to keep improving the roster. And we're going to get into those comments in a little bit. But opting in, people need to understand, LeBron opting into his player option was by far the best outcome for the Lakers, the absolutely best outcome, with no close second. This is exactly what the Lakers should have wanted, because LeBron opting in, regains the Lakers more control in their relationship with LeBron. I would argue they have now more control in the relationship between the Lakers and LeBron, but at worst, it has now shifted to equal, whereas before it has always felt like LeBron has had much more agency and control. Like, Laker fans need to understand, if LeBron walked, in all likelihood, the Lakers would have been far worse in 25-26, the 25-26 season. If he walks, the Lakers do not suddenly gain $52 million and change in cap space. That's not how this worked. Even if LeBron walked with DFS now walking, the Lakers would have gained about $31 million in cap space, something like that. And while you can obviously work with that, the odds of finding a way to completely replicate what you have in LeBron with $31 million cap space and needing to fill out the roster was somewhere between slim and none. The Lakers were going to be a worse team this coming season had LeBron opted out. They would have no way to replace him. But with all that said, if I had to choose between LeBron walking and the team being worse next season, and LeBron re-upping with another 1+1 at 50-ish mil and this open-ended thing that's basically like a series of one-year leases, I would have choose LeBron walking, even if it would have hurt the team next season, because we've reached this place where it is untenable to try to build something sustainable for the future, particularly now that you have Luka Doncic, a generational superstar in his prime. You need some degree of certainty, of clarity, of finality with LeBron's contract, if not necessarily the relationship with LeBron. LeBron opting into this deal, being a free agent in 2026, doesn't automatically mean the relationship with the Lakers ends. It's looking like it might, but it doesn't automatically mean that. But either way, you have clarity about when his contract will end, and you can start making actual big picture plans, far-ranging, 2 or 3 years in ahead. Start earmarking the money that you want to spend on free agent X, or the trades that you want to make, the roster that you want to build around Luka Doncic. You can now do that knowing when the time with LeBron, at least under contract, is going to end. There was no way to actually keep doing that as long as LeBron kept re-upping on a series of 1-to-1. Sam Amick, 1-on-1 deals. Sam Amick reported from The Athletic, quote, team sources say James and the Lakers did not discuss deals that would have added years to his Laker tenure by way of an extension or opting out and signing a new deal. Conversely, James and his camp signaled months ago that there would be no discounts offered this time around. And I think the Lakers realized what I'm talking about, that you can't keep doing this moving forward. And I also think LeBron realized, in all honesty, that they weren't going to offer it to him. And if he wants to maintain any type of leverage moving forward, any type of power in this relationship at all, or the appearance of power if, say, he wants to get a trade, the worst thing that would have come out is LeBron asking for another 1+1, like formally asking and getting told no. That removes, as Jerry Seinfeld and George Costanza would say, hand in the relationship. You lose hand. And I think
a lot of it.
I think LeBron has already lost some hand, but if it came out that he wanted, whoa, Funchie is breaking equipment right now. Funchie just broke okay, it's back in place now.
Sorry, I didn't know
you
my
break
own strength.
It, you buy it, Funchie.
I didn't know my own strength over here.
You did not, man. You're getting swole for the softball game. I'm assuming you've been working out, lifting, that sort of thing.
A little bit, you know.
You're looking a little cut these
some
days.
protein.
So ultimately, this was exactly where this all goes from here. Still, I think, remains to be seen. But this was, without question, the best outcome for the Lakers. LeBron opting in, because they have regained control that if they have the stones to exercise it, if they have the will to exercise that power, I think they have regained more power in this dynamic between LeBron and the Lakers. But there is, of course, also the comments from Rich Paul that he told ESPN, quote, LeBron wants to compete for a championship. He knows the Lakers are building for the future. He understands that, but he values a realistic chance of winning it all. We are very appreciative of the partnership we've had for 8 years with Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka, and consider the Lakers a critical part of his career. We understand the difficulty in winning now while preparing for the future. We want to evaluate what's best for LeBron at this stage of his life and career. He wants to make every season he has left count, and the Lakers understand that, are supportive, and what's best for him. Again, some have seen this as a passive-aggressive pressure to make the biggest move possible this offseason, trade everything not nailed down to the ground, expiring contracts, 2031 first, Dalton Connect, maybe even Austin Reaves, or at worst, the opening statement that leads to a trade request for LeBron, to which I say, okay. I'll explain why it's just okay. Coming up next, Lakers Talk, Andy Kamenetzky, 710 ESPN.
Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. Whether it's a long day on your feet, a demanding workout, or everyday aches and pains, you need relief that can keep up when pain persists. Aleve is here for you with longer-lasting body pain relief compared to leading OTC-branded pain relievers. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
The Black Friday and July event from Dell Technologies is here with great offers on trusted technology. You'll also discover huge deals on new AI-ready laptops like the Dell 14 Plus featuring Intel Core Ultra processors starting at $699.99. Save on top accessories, plus enjoy fast, free shipping and other benefits. Upgrade today by visiting Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Next Gen is the official heating, plumbing, and electrical company of SoCal sports fans and is the absolute best in the biz with thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Get ready to beat the summer heat with Next Gen. For a limited time, enjoy a free whole home air cleaner with any new AC installation. Call 833-3NEXTGEN. That's 833-3NEXGEN to book your appointment. CSLB number 1011173. Next Gen, here for you now and for years to come.
NEXGEN, call 833-3NEXTGEN.
Oh my God, is this your house?
This is the humble abode.
Oh my God, it's so humble.
FX presents Adults.
You don't know your social security number?
No, I do. It's just my mom, knows the whole thing.
A new comedy about 20-somethings achieving zero anythings.
What is the worst that happens?
I go broke. I can't pay my loans. I start an OnlyFans, but only you guys subscribe.
I can't do OnlyFans.
Yeah, you wouldn't make it on there, so sorry.
FX's Adults, Wednesdays on FX. All episodes streaming on Hulu.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
710 ESPN.
The radio home of the purple and gold and the home of Lakers talk.
Think about Lakers exceptionalism with increased competency, with increased expertise. Think about how much better the Lakers become if they have literally every advantage they can have. That is a potential game changer.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today.
More Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetzky rolls on.
Reminder that Matt Peralta from Lakers Nation coming up in about 15 minutes. Shawn Davis from the Los Angeles Lakers Network in an hour. Lakers Talk, Kamenetzky 710 ESPN. And we will keep everyone up to date with free agency news that breaks, particularly as it affects the Lakers. As noted before, Dorian Finney-Smith will be going to the Houston Rockets, 4 years, around 52, 53 mil. Basically, full mid-level exception money. Jake Laravia will be joining the Lakers, 2 years, $12 million, and a friendship with Austin Reaves. Austin Reaves appeared to be recruiting him. I'm going to talk about that with Matt Peralta because we saw this in a Lakers Nation video that went viral, the two of them in a car together. Waiting for some clarity on DeAndre Ayton. He has been linked to the Lakers. He is a surprise free agent this offseason. Old friend Mo Wagner, the Orlando Magic, declined his option, so he could be a possibility. But let's get back to Rich Paul's comments to ESPN about LeBron opting into his contract. In so many words, LeBron wants to compete for a title now, knows the Lakers are looking to the future with Luka. LeBron understands. He's not upset, values his time with the Lakers, that partnership, as do the Lakers with him. But LeBron is also thinking about his career twilight and therefore is going to evaluate where things stand as the Lakers operate in free agency. And a lot of people interpreting this as either the beginning of a pressure campaign or the beginning of a trade request, which obviously by definition, that's a big deal. It's LeBron James. He is an icon. He's a legend. He's still playing at a high level. But like I said before, my reaction to this, if this is actually what Rich Paul and LeBron are agitating towards, my answer is okay. Try to do right by LeBron, however any of this shakes out. But The Lakers, by LeBron opting into his player option, they've regained control in this relationship between the franchise and LeBron. And the truth is, there is only so much pressure LeBron can apply to the front office to make moves if that's what he's trying to do, to eventually trade him if that's what he wants. There's only so much LeBron can actually do, that Clutch can actually do to just make this happen if it's not what the Lakers deem in their best interest. And it's important to note, Lakers, at least by all appearances, they are trying to win right now, or at minimum to be as competitive as they can be right now. Like, not just in the future, but like right now with Luka and LeBron, unless we forget Luka Doncic, pretty effing good player. Like, you're talking about a top 5 player in the league when he's healthy. That is one of LeBron's co-stars. Like, that's a pretty good foundation to begin with. They were a 3 seed last year, despite a mid-season roster-altering trade, some injuries, no continuity. Assuming they find a halfway decent center, maybe one more halfway decent wing, a training camp to work together, those two with Austin Reaves, J.J. Redick becoming more experienced, good health, a little bit of luck, yada, yada. The Lakers could, at worst, be a pretty good team. Is that good enough for LeBron? Maybe not. But I don't know how many other situations LeBron can join. And in the meantime, the Lakers need to be prioritizing what is the best way moving forward with Luka. If Luka wants them to trade everything nailed down right now, you do that. Whatever moves Luka wants, you try to make happen. But as far as what LeBron wants right now, you can try to make it work as long as it lines up with the priorities with Luka. Like, this is not a 2-timeline situation where you are trying to, give LeBron the send-off that he deserves, pay tribute to a legend, but also try to make it work with Luka. No. This is a Luka timeline. Like, point blank, period. This is a Luka timeline. And whatever they are doing right now, the Lakers need to be working as hand in glove as possible with Luka in coordination, finding out, what do you want us to do? And if it's be as aggressive as you can right now, then be as aggressive as you can right now. If it's, you know what, this offseason, I don't see a lot of possibilities, but next offseason, when the Lakers could theoretically have a ton of cap space, more maneuverability, I think a bigger, better free agent class, I think that could be a better path to building around me for the sustainable future. As long as you are making Luka happy and doing the things that he seems to want so you can get that extension from him, that is the number one priority. And there's really nothing LeBron can do to create pressure. And frankly, the Lakers don't even have that many trade assets to make that many moves, even if Rob Pelinka wants to. Like, there's only so many big moves they can make anyway. They only have so many assets to begin with. So there's only so much pressure you can even apply right now. And then as far as the threat of LeBron demanding a trade, it's not all that scary unless the Lakers panic and they allow it to be scary. Because trading LeBron is way easier said than done, man. Way easier said than done. He is extremely complicated to trade. There's only so many teams that I think would really be willing to trade for LeBron. There's only so many teams he would be willing to willing to join. There's no point to gutting your infrastructure if that's what it takes to match LeBron's $52 million and change to complete a trade, because then LeBron isn't joining anything better than what he has with the Lakers. That team won't be getting any better by getting LeBron. And because LeBron has a no-trade clause, he's likely going to nix the trade anyway. It's similar to what the Lakers went through in 2007 when Kobe had a no-trade clause and demanded a trade. But every single deal that the Lakers at least explored, it's essentially a 3-team deal with Lakers, Team X, and Kobe. That's really difficult to work out when a player can essentially just nix the deal. And I don't think LeBron is going to have a massive, robust market. We saw that with Kevin Durant. It wasn't a huge bidding war. There's only so many teams that are going to be willing to drop a 41-year-old player into their ecosystem and give up a lot in the process. It doesn't make sense for a lot of teams. Like, you have to be truly stacked to pull that off and still be good after a deal. And as far as, the Lakers trying to make LeBron happy, they should try to make LeBron happy. You want to make this relationship as pleasant and copacetic as possible. You want to do right by LeBron, but not at your own expense. And the Lakers need to recognize they cannot hurt themselves in the process of trying to make LeBron happy if that's what it takes. Like, I know they're an organization that prides themselves on taking care of their superstars, but you will become a prisoner of your own ethos if you gut your future with Luka Doncic, the 26-year-old generational superstar just entering his prime, in order to make LeBron happy. Like, that would be beyond stupid. Like, in my opinion, that would be a fireable offense for Rob Pelinka if he did something like that. That would be absolutely insane and irresponsible to put the present and really the exit of LeBron ahead of the viability with Luka moving forward. And there's really not much they can that LeBron and Clutch can threaten from there. Like, what's LeBron going to do? Sit out an entire year? Not report to camp? Like, do you really think he's going to crap away one of his last remaining seasons in the league? Seriously doubt it. Like, the idea that all of a sudden it affects the relationship with Clutch and Rich Paul steers players away from the Lakers, like, with all sincere respect and admiration for what Rich Paul has built and how powerful he is, I don't think you really want to become known as the agent that will not send his clients, will not work with the Lakers, will not send his clients towards the Lakers in the Mark Walter stupid money era. Like, that just strikes me as a bad business plan. So I don't really think there's much leverage that LeBron and Clutch can apply as long as the Lakers don't panic. Take a quick call before we get to Matt Peralta. Richard in L.A. You're on Lakers Talk. What's up, Richard?
Yes, how you doing?
Good, man.
Well, listen, your theme for the Lakers going forward, I get it 100%. But since LeBron and Luka in a few more days is going to eat up the majority of your salary, and LeBron has had a history of wanting to play with veterans, let's just keep this thing rolling. You got Derek White. I heard his name mentioned, maybe going into trade talks with the Lakers. And you've got Al Horford. I heard his name mentioned. So let's just keep this thing going. I mean, Austin Reaves being untouchable. I mean, let's don't treat him like he's Aladar or Spectacular Bid, okay? Shooting guards come a dime a dozen. The league is full of them. So get some veterans for LeBron. Try to put a bench together. Is that going to beat Oklahoma City in a 7-game series? Of course not. But at least going into the season, maybe they'll win 50 games. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the call, Richard. I would be stunned if the Lakers could put together the assets to get Derek White from the Celtics. I would be very surprised. And remember, trading Austin Reaves, he's in a walk year. So any team that trades for Austin trades for him knowing he could walk as an unrestricted free agent.
You would have to trade Austin Reaves and Rui for Derek White, which I don't think that's a good trade.
Look, if you can get Derek White, I would love to do that.
But it's going to cost you a lot.
It's going to cost you a lot, and I seriously doubt this. I mean, it's going to cost you even more from the Celtics. It's going to cost you even more to get Derek White as the Lakers dealing with the Celtics.
True, very true.
I'm sorry. No Al Horford right now. Al Horford does not need to come to the Lakers. I've noticed, again, Al Horford, what he's done with the Celtics and the role that he had with them, completely different role if he was to come to the Lakers. He's not going to have that same style as far as they're going to command a lot out of him if he was to come to the Lakers.
And also the word on Al Horford is that he's going to the Warriors.
Interesting.
That's the rumor right now.
He's the Kevon Looney replacement?
Yes, he is.
Kevon Looney, I don't know what his salary is going to be reportedly in New Orleans.
I think it was 16 or 18 mil.
That is that is
years.
babysitting money.
For 2 years.
Like, that is really, like, get these damn
We
kids.
better put some respect on him. He got 3 chips.
No, he's got 3 chips, but 3 or 4. I don't remember how many years he's been a part of that, but he is being told, you're getting $18 million or whatever to put some foots in the asses of these kids who keep acting up. We need a pro in that locker room.
Just keep Zion out the buffets. That's it.
Man, that roster is weird. All right, we are going to break down free agency, trades, LeBron, all that stuff coming up with Matt Peralta from Lakers Nation. This is Lakers Talk. Andy Kamenetzky, 710 ESPN.
Hey, John Ireland here. Laker fans, meet Pro Baller Energy, the official energy drink of the Lakers. It's a natural, healthier alternative loaded with ultra-premium ingredients like organic agave, electrolytes, B vitamins, and natural caffeine. Plus, it's NSF certified for sport. Just clean energy to keep you locked in without the crash or synthetic junk. So go grab yourself the limited edition Lakers can and rep the team in style. Pro Baller Energy, champions choose clean energy.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Flashy discounts, gimmicky sales? Don't fall for it. At Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, we give you honest, wholesale pricing all year long. No bogus markups, no tricks, just the best floors at the best prices. Call 866-62-FLOOR. No sale beats wholesale. Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, check them out at hernandezwholesaleflooring.net or call them at 866-62-FLOOR.
For the best prices on hardwood carpet and more, call 866-62-FLOOR.
Your next Subaru is waiting for you at Subaru of Glendale. Check this out. Lease a new 2025 Subaru Crosstrek Sport CVT for just $279 a month plus tax for 36 months. One at this payment. VIN S3723202. MSRP $32,189. $33.99 due at signing. Call 888-855-6434 or check out SubaruofGlendale.net. On approved Tier 1 credit through Subaru Motors Finance. No security deposit. 10,000 miles a year. Model code SRD-21.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text CAR to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text CAR to 42424. That's CAR to 42424.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
An off-season edition of Lakers Talk continues on 710 ESPN.
It's really about making Luka happy, and thus far, Luka seems to be happy. Laker fans should definitely be happy about this. Like, this is a really exciting moment for Lakers fans, for the Lakers franchise.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today.
More Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetzky rolls on.
The jokes writing themselves. Shams reporting that Dorian Prince has agreed to return to the Milwaukee Bucks, and by Milwaukee Bucks, I mean Darvin Ham. He is back with they're like the B-list or like C-list basketball version of Scorsese and De Niro.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit out of order. So, okay. All right, we are going to be joined right now by one of the best with Lakers Nation. You've seen his coverage over at the site. You can follow him on Twitter, _Matthew Peralta. Matt Peralta from Lakers Nation, one of the many friends of the show from Lakers Nation joining me. How are you, Matt?
I'm doing super good, Andy. How are you doing?
Good. Before we get into the entire free agency landscape, the Lakers, DFS, centers, the LeBron of it all, The Jake Laravia reported signing 2 years, 12 mil. How much credit should Lakers Nation get for this development? Because for those who missed it, I believe it was Trevor Lane was doing a live interview with Austin Reaves and Jake Laravia in one of their cars, and Trevor pressed Austin about recruiting Jake Laravia, which Austin said he was, and obviously Austin would deserve the lion's share of credit, but does Lakers Nation deserve some credit as well by just putting this out in the streets?
I think there is maybe some credit due here. Trevor has been so humble and said he had no part in this, but I think he might be just being a little bit too nice. So I do think maybe there's a little credit here is due, but as far as Jake Laravia goes, I think that's a great signing for the Lakers.
Okay, I want to get into that with you. I mean, Trevor, by the way, I was wondering if Trevor was maybe just holding off on the applause in case the Laravia signing doesn't work out because he doesn't want to be formally attached to it, but you like the Laravia signing. He seems to me like kind of the DFS replacement. Is that your read on it, and what do you like about it?
Yeah, so I don't think it's quite apples to apples, right? I mean, DFS being the more versatile defender, being able to guard up a position, corner three-point shooter, solid there. But I think for Jake Laravia, what you like is that he's 6'7", so he's got size on the perimeter. He's 23 years old, so this fits into the whole Lakers need to get younger, more athletic. So I like that. And I think the price point, too, because if you look at what DFS reportedly signed for with the Houston Rockets at 4 for $53, you get Jake Laravia for 2 for $12. And then there's also the possibility of Lakers making some more moves here. I think in the aggregate, you kind of start to think, like, maybe the Lakers didn't do too bad here losing DFS and opening up some other pathways to sign players. But if we're talking about Laravia specifically, I like him as a spot-up shooter. I think he's got more on-ball juice than DFS as a, creator or someone that can get to the rim. So overall, I like the upside swing here for the Lakers. I think the price is great. I don't think this is a contract that ages poorly. And, I think we talked about this on our Lakers Nation live stream right before this, but Jake Laravia is actually younger than Dalton Connect. So something to look at, too, for the Lakers.
And what's interesting about this, and we're talking with Matt Peralta from Lakers Nation, follow him on Twitter, _Matthew Peralta. This feels to me, and obviously there's still a lot to play out, whether with free agency or the trade market, where I think the Lakers, if they really want to be aggressive, that's going to be their best path towards aggressive moves. But Laravia, the length of that deal, just 2 years, the price, just 12 mil, that feels to me like a signal that they may already be prioritizing the offseason of 2026 more than this current offseason. Do you think that reads correct?
I think there's some truth to that. I think if you kind of just read around the market, what the Lakers could get, the resources they have available to them. I know they've got a few expiring contracts on the roster that they can still go and make trades with. They've still got part of their non-taxpayer they can use, potentially the biannual. So, yes, they can add players, but I think if you're projecting forward, the cap sheet does look cleaner next year. You might be able to dip into the pool for guys you can trade with. You might have more flexibility there. So I understand the thinking about it. I think what the Lakers are doing is tiptoeing this fine line of we're going to try and improve the roster with what we have, but I think there is an eye toward the future here if you're LA.
The free agent center market was thin to begin with, much less with players the Lakers could even semi-realistically afford to sign. It's been drying up pretty quickly after signing Laravia. The Lakers have, I believe, around $8 million left to spend with that full mid-level exception. DeAndre Ayton is out there. Mo Wagner, I believe, is still out there. I don't know if I'm missing anybody. Who do you think would be the best acquisition, or do you think it could be none of the above? You got to trade for the center, or both?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think I came into this offseason thinking the Lakers needed 2 legit big guys. Most of the targets that the Lakers have been linked to have been coming off the board. Clint Capella came out, Brook Lopez. I think, for Lakers Nation at least, like we've been talking about, I think it feels like DeAndre Ayton or bust for that remainder of that full mid-level. And then I think you do need to sign another big somehow if that comes with that biannual exception, if you can open that up. If you can find a guy on a veteran minimum, although you're probably scraping the bottom of the barrel at that point. But I do think you need more. You need more than one big guy for sure. And so I think you kind of go Ayton. And then the trade market, of course, is always an option. But I think just given what things look like right now, it's hard for me to imagine they get an impact guy via trade.
If the Lakers don't use the remainder of their mid-level exception on a center, and one presumes at that point then that they are going to be doing something by trade because they have no centers under like full NBA contracts right now. So unless they are really super confident in Christian Coloco and Trey Jemison III, DeAndre's pumping his fist. I'm assuming that they are planning on doing something via trade. What skill set or position do you think that they should prioritize? And are there any names that come to mind?
Yeah, so I still think you stick in the front court here. I think you're either looking at another big guy, assuming you've got Aiden in the bag, which, given the order of operations today, I'm hoping that's the case. I wouldn't mind doubling down on a big, but I also think you can never have enough 3-and-D wings, especially after you lose DFS. I know we just talked about Jake Laravia as a nice upside guy, but not necessarily known for his defense, so I would like to shore up that area too. As for names, though, I'm pretty open. I'm not too sure what's left on free agent market or the trade market even, but if I'm the Lakers, those are the two spots I'm looking to shore up.
Talking with Matt Peralta from Lakers Nation, one of the many folks over at Lakers Nation covering the team. Follow him on Twitter, _Matthew Peralta. Who are some of the trade targets that you think the Lakers are going to be either will be looking at or should be looking at?
Yeah, if you're talking your pie in the sky scenarios, right? I think we've been talking a lot about Austin Reaves trade for a while now, and I think given the way that this free agency has shaken out, I think there should be some open-mindedness from the Lakers in terms of we should at least explore what we can get, right?
I agree.
So if I'm looking at the trade market, yeah, look, this is nothing against Austin. I hope he retires a Laker at some point. But if push comes to shove and there's a deal the Lakers can't pass up, I think he needs to be on the table. But aside from that, some names that have been floated. I know Jared Allen's a really popular one. Not too sure how the Lakers could get there. I know it'd probably be Rui in their pick to start with. Andrew Wiggins, another popular name that I know has been floated for Lakers Twitter. I think those are kind of in the directions you'd want to go. Even saw some news, or not news, but fans are kind of dreaming about someone like a Trey Murphy from New Orleans. Can you do something there with Austin? Maybe. Don't know why you would do that. But I think if you're talking about upgrading the roster in a meaningful way, I think that's the kind of caliber of player, and those are the kinds of deals I'd be looking to make.
It's interesting. You mentioned Austin, and it's always controversial, I think is too strong, but it can be a polarizing topic in terms of should you trade Austin? How much value do you think Austin has? Which
sure.
He's a very good player, full stop.
Yeah.
I do think the organization has, both in terms of what I've heard, but also I think seemingly overvalued him at times or have placed him
sure.
kind of a little too untouchable adjacent for my tastes. What do you think would be a proper level player to be acceptable in a return for Austin? Does it have to be a couple-time All-Star? Does it have to be somebody who's All-NBA caliber? Do you think he could be part of a bigger package where maybe you're just trading him for depth or even picks that you could turn around and flip?
Yeah, no, I think that's a great question, and I think it's the hard part, right? Given what he makes on a contract right now, $14 million, what he'll be due next year, if he decides to opt out and hit unrestricted free agency, I think there's a ton of factors there. But I think if you're just talking about pure talent, I'm kind of with you. I think it has to be, for sure, starting level, probably borderline all-star caliber player, because I still think that there's more upside to Austin that we haven't seen quite yet. I think the second half of this past season showed us a lot, and I think that if he continues on that trajectory, I'm not saying he's for sure an all-star, but I think he's in that kind of realm of borderline / could make a team or two in the future. So if I'm the Lakers, I agree with you. I think there have been times where maybe they've overvalued him a little too much, but I don't necessarily disagree with them holding out for a better deal, right? So all in all, that's to say, Lawson's very good. I would like for him to stay with the Lakers, but if there's a trade out there that improves the team and fits and fills a need, I think you have to look at that.
You mentioned before, Matt, we're talking with Matt Peralta from Lakers Nation, Lakers Talk, Andy Kamenetzky, 710 ESPN. The possibility of the Lakers looking to the 2026 offseason, they could have a lot of guys off the books, including LeBron, and we're going to talk about LeBron before the conversation ends. That they might decide that could be a better path towards building around Luka versus being extremely aggressive this offseason. Do you have a preference in terms of how they go about trying to do this?
Yeah, honestly, I can't really say I've wrapped my head around completely everything that's happened the past few days regarding the Lakers. So I'm a little on the fence here because I do think that it's wasteful, to go into the season thinking that you can marginally upgrade this roster and expect to compete in the Western Conference specifically with LeBron and Luka. So from that perspective, I like them to do something, that signals that they're actually trying to go for it in a legitimate way, right? But I think it's just a tightrope that Rob has to walk, right? Because you also have to think about the future. Like, you don't want to overcommit your assets now. Like, the Lakers don't have a lot of picks. They don't have a lot of seconds. Swaps are limited on, and then young, desirable players and contracts that are worth trading. Like, there's just not a ton of it. So from that perspective, I also understand why they're willing to be patient. But as a fan base, it's a hard sell. It's just a tough one. Like, people today are already on edge because they haven't made the moves that have been talked about for days, right? So I can only imagine how it would go over a full year of, like, we're going to preserve cap space and maybe get a guy.
Well, I mean, I think ultimately what really matters, and talking to Matt Peralta from Lakers Nation, is if they get the extension with Luka. Like, if they get the extension with Luka, no matter what happens this offseason, big, huge, aggressive moves, keeping the powder dry, something in between, as long as it seems like Luka is on board, then you can work out the rest moving forward. And my big overarching hope is they're just in constant communication with Luka, really taking his temperature as opposed to trying to read his mind. Last question for you. LeBron opted into his player option, but there were some cryptic comments from Rich Paul attached to the decision. What do you make of the comments, and how do you think the Lakers should react to them, if at all?
Yeah, so it's a good question. I think Rich Paul today even went back on the record and said we were trying to just, I think he was talking to Chris Haynes actually about, the comments came out, but there's no trade talks. There's nothing, imminent about LeBron leaving. We want to stay here. He opted in to play for the Lakers. So I'm going to take him at face value there. I do believe that LeBron probably prefers to stay in Los Angeles. That's my read on it. I can't imagine him wanting to uproot his life when he's got it so good here. But from a basketball perspective too, like, look, you get to play next to Luka Doncic. You've got Austin Reaves, presumably. You can still make moves this free agency. Like, the summer's not done yet. It's just, today's literally day one. So
it's not done yet, Matt? Are you sure? Because based on Lakers Twitter, it's
social media is
it's closed. Like, free agency's closed. Yeah. The Lakers lost.
Exactly. Yeah. Everything. The sky is falling. Free agency's finished in the first 4 hours or so of it.
The store's closed.
I generally think. Yes, but I do genuinely think that the Lakers probably don't need to react too much to this. I'm sure, like, before he even issued that statement, I would imagine that they had already talked about this is probably how it's going to go down. Maybe that's wishful thinking. I don't know. But given how the Lakers have treated their star players, how they tend to work with them pretty collaboratively, I would like to think that this was not a surprise. So overall, I think LeBron stays with the Lakers. I think he gives it a real shot this year. But if we're talking about next year, I think that's a legitimate question.
He is Matt Peralta. He is part of the coverage over at Lakers Nation, which I'm sure everybody listening to this show is familiar with their work. You can follow him on Twitter, _Matthew Peralta. Appreciate the time, brother. Thank you very much.
Always, Andy. Appreciate you, and go Lakers.
There you have it. Again, Matt Peralta from Lakers Nation. 877-710-ESPN if you want to weigh in on the comments from Matt, anything we've talked about with LeBron, free agency, whatever. This is Lakers Talk. Andy Kamenetzky, 710 ESPN. What up, Morales?
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News & World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
Next Gen is the official AC, heating, plumbing, and electrical company of SoCal sports fans. And for a limited time, Next Gen is offering $500 off any whole home water purification system. You may not know it, but our water here in SoCal contains pesticides, lead, forever chemicals, chlorine, and more. Call 833-3-NEXT-GEN. That's 833-3-NEXGEN. CSLB number 1011173. Next Gen, here for you now and for years to come.
NEXGEN. Call 833-3-NEXT-GEN.
Hey, John Ireland here for Thrive Cybersecurity. We all know in sports that defense wins games and turnovers kill you. That's also true in business. The truth is 1/3 of businesses will unwittingly turn over their sensitive company data to thieves this year. Don't let that happen to you. Remember this website, thrivenextgen.com/ESPN. Thrive starts with a comprehensive cyber risk assessment. Their security analysts identify gaps and deliver proactive solutions to help keep your network healthy and protected. It's not a matter of if, it's when. Get ready. Visit thrivenextgen.com/ESPN. That's thrivenextgen.com/ESPN. Play defense, use Thrive, and protect your business.
710 ESPN.
The radio home of the purple and gold and the home of Lakers talk.
Think about Lakers exceptionalism with increased competency, with increased expertise. Think about how much better the Lakers become if they have literally every advantage they can have. Like, that is a potential game changer.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today.
More Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetzky rolls on.
Matt Peralta from Lakers Nation for joining us. Shawn Davis from the Los Angeles Lakers Network will be joining in just a sec. Again, 877-710-ESPN if you want to weigh in on anything we've been talking about. Don in the city of industry with the greatest voice of any caller in sports radio history. You're on Lakers Talk. What's up, Don?
Mr. K, what is up? Man, I felt so good when I heard that LeBron was opting in, but then when I heard this stupid statement, it really makes me mad. It's kind of like if you ask a girl to marry you and she says yes, and you're putting the engagement ring on her, and then she says, oh, but by the way, if things aren't working out, I'm going to look for somebody else.
Or you put the ring on her, and then she immediately brings up prenup.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, you know what? How about we just move on? If LeBron has all these teams he wants to go to have a better chance to win, fine. The Lakers, I've already heard that they say there's 4 teams reaching out. Is he available? I would say, good, LeBron. We want you to be happy. If you want to go to a team where you think you have a better chance, let's make this happen. And call his bluff. I'm tired of getting, is this okay, LeBron? He's a lame duck. He's a lame duck. Come on. He isn't in his prime. That's different. It's kind of like, actually, think of the move Dr. Buss made with Shaq. He offered him he would have been the highest paid center in the league, I think at $22 million at that time. And LeBron said, no, not LeBron, Shaq, he wanted 36. Pay me, mother effer, And then, they let him go because the only numbers that were going up with Shaq were his body fat percentage and his weight, So, he went somewhere, he won one more title, and then that was it because Dr. Buss knew and then they asked, he got in great shape that first couple of years at Miami. And then they asked Dr. Buss, hey, are you sorry you traded Shaq now? And he laughed. He said, if he'd have done that here, if he'd have gotten in shape here, we would have kept him. Oh, and then Shaq went ballistic. You remember? It's the same dang thing. I mean,
well, it's funny, and I appreciate the call there, Don. What you're describing right there with Shaq getting into shape, at least for a couple years in Miami, and how do you like this now, Dr. Buss? And Dr. Buss saying, well, if he had done that in L.A., he'd still be here. This is what the Mavericks are counting on happening with Luka, and maybe what we're even seeing right now. Like every single picture that keeps coming out of Luka, and Dan Wojcicki, by the way, who, for those unaware, he has left the L.A. Times and he is now covering the Lakers for The Athletic.
Congrats to him.
Yeah, congrats to Dan Wojcicki, friend of the show. He'll be on at some point, many points really, over the course of this offseason and the upcoming season. He's taking over for where Jovan Buha left off. Jovan is going full-time into the YouTube podcasting space. Buha's block, everybody should be listening. Jovan, another friend of the show. But Dan recently reported that there really are a lot of photos and a lot of chatter that Luka is taking the off-season conditioning, diet, lifestyle, all that stuff seriously. And I guarantee Nico Harrison, the Dumont family, the Adelson family, everybody in Dallas will say, well, if you'd done that in Dallas, he'd still be here. And my response would be, well, that's your problem. Like, all right, you know what? You should have figured out then a way to get through to Luka. You should have found a way to do this without it coming to you needing to trade him. And maybe it took some spite. Maybe it took some motivation in that form, some FU motivation. And the trade cost Luka like literally hundreds of millions of dollars. If that's what it takes, I don't care. If that's how Luka got his revenge body, I don't give a bleep, man. That's Dallas's problem. That's not the Lakers' problem. So we'll see where all this goes with Luka, but the important thing, DeAndre, is just get him to sign the extension. As long as he signs the extension, to me, that means at minimum he's either happy with what the Lakers are doing right now or he's willing to keep watching what they're doing.
Yeah, August 2nd is going to be a big deal as far as Luka Doncic signing with the Lakers. But also, it's going to be ideal for them this free agency. Who are they going to center him around? What pieces are they going to add with Luka Doncic? Because if he sees and they're not at least a competitive team in the Western Conference, how is that going to look for him as far as when it gets time for him to sign a contract extension?
Well, it depends. I mean, it depends on whether or not he has been in contact with the front office and like talking about strategy. And if the strategy lines up with what they've been talking about, then I'm not worried. Before we go to break, Cooper in Redlands. You're on Lakers Talk. What's up, Cooper?
How you doing, guys? Good early evening. I've been listening to you guys all day, and I understand, a lot of Laker fans are worried or just pretty much don't care, but you got to understand something. It's business, man.
Sure.
Okay? This is business. This is a nasty truth of the business. He earned a right. This is contractual, right? This is law, okay? So if he's earned the right to take $50 million, who would turn that down right now? He's earned the right.
I never said he should turn it down. I never said that he should.
No, but listen, Kobe, see, this is LeBron hate that you guys give him so much. All right, because we all know the bubble ring doesn't count and all this crap.
I've never said the bubble ring doesn't. I've never said the bubble ring.
No, not you, but a lot of callers and a lot of people online.
Got it.
They feel that way.
Okay.
Because there's so much of a Kobe lover, and I get it. He came there, he did what he needed to do. Right, he got you guys lit again. You guys won a ring. Kobe's last days, what did you guys do? He was on his last leg. He opted and took $40 million.
He
didn't. Did he hold the franchise hostage? Huh? So LeBron can have the same opportunity. He won you guys a ring.
Sure.
He had he gave you. Listen, I go to Laker games. The people barely root. They don't care. They only care about Lakers when they're winning. So now when it gets ugly and everything is an adjustment, it's oh my God, it's LeBron's fault. No, it's not his fault. It's not his fault. He's a human being. He's an NBA player first, and this is business. This is the nasty side of the business. That's all it is.
Sure.
I mean, it's his decision. It's his decision as an American. It's his decision as an athlete. It's his decision because he's earned the right. He's only one or two players in the NBA that has something in his contract called a clause, right, where you can't just trade him.
Yeah.
He's earned that right and power.
Sure.
And I love to say this. I want to say this too before I get off because I've been listening all day as I'm working.
Okay.
And it's just like some things are fair and some things is unfair. Some things is called how I was raised. It's called mind your business. Why you pocket watching another man's money? Right? The Lakers just sold the team for $10 billion. $50 million ain't killing them. The owners that you guys got, right, is the same owners that kicked my Yankees' ass because they got nothing but money to spend. So
now I understand some of this bitterness, Cooper. Now I understand where some of this anger is coming from.
No, brother. I've been in Cali for too long, but I like to say Brooklyn Dodgers because I'm from Brooklyn. So it's okay.
Wow. Okay.
But what I'm saying is you guys are going to be great. You're the Lakers, the most prestigious, beautiful organization in the world. Okay? It's going to be fun. Everyone needs to calm down, let it play out. He's done this for every team to look at the roster to say who can I mesh with, who can I gel. They call him the GM, right?
Yep.
I mean, so this is not new. Anybody would do this. A lot of people do. Just so happens his name is LeBron James, and a lot of people don't like him. You know, and he's on his last leg, and people are looking at it like, hey, hurry up, make a move. Hey, do this. Hey, if he's going to join my Knicks, which would be cool, but I don't want him to. I want him to do right by the Lakers because I've been watching. I've been going to the games. I actually root. I don't just sit there and look all Hollywood like your fans do. Right? I get up and I cheer and I praise you guys, and I've been loving you guys since Magic Johnson, Nick Van Exel. I got all the jerseys. So I'm a real Laker fan. And
Cooper, I'm up against it. I got to let you go, but Rackham, that was a call. That was a call. I need to listen back to the entire previous 9 hours of what Cooper heard today because there's so much. I'm just.
Oh my God, there's a lot today.
There's a lot of
lot of calls and a lot of anti-LeBron.
Okay, that explains a lot of it because I'm listening to it and I'm like, I never said LeBron.
No.
Didn't deserve the money.
I totally understood what he was saying when he was talking to you.
There was a lot that I didn't hear today, and again, it was a great call. But I'm like, when did I ever say that? But a lot going on there, and we got more people on hold right now. 877-710-ESPN. We are going to get into more reaction from you guys about LeBron opting in. Lakers free agency slow so far. Dorian Finney-Smith is out. He will be in Houston 4 years, $50-ish million. Jake Laravia joining the Lakers. A lot of you now Googling Jake Laravia because you have no idea who the hell he is. We'll see what else is coming up for the Lakers in free agency in the next hour. Lakers Talk, Andy Kamenetzky, 710 ESPN.
Ignite your afternoons at Waba Grill's $5 happy hour with our 5-piece pork veggie dumplings and a value-sized premium one beverage drink, like our zesty dragon fruit mango lemonade. Enjoy $5 happy hour weekdays after 3 p.m. only at Waba Grill.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-372-2017. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-372-2017. 800-372-2017. 800-372-2017.
Hi, this is Sean McVay of your LA Rams. The Rams play here. KSPN, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma brands radio station. This is Lakers Talk on 710 ESPN.
Where Lakers fans tap in for all the latest surrounding the purple and gold.
So it stands to reason that Jeannie Buss would not be okay with this sale if she did not feel pretty comfortable with Mark Walter. I'm assuming that's the case, and that's awesome because after everything the Buss family has done with this organization, after everything Jeannie has done with this organization, I'm glad that she will be comfortable with the next chapter.
It's an off-season edition of Lakers Talk on 710.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute. When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today.
An off-season edition of Lakers Talk is on.
Here's Andy Kamenetzky.
About 12 or so minutes away from being joined by Shawn Davis from the Los Angeles Lakers Network, one of the best voices out there covering this team, great at breaking down the X's and O's, personnel, what's happening on the court, get his take on everything going on in free agency, which I know for a lot of Laker fans' taste, not nearly enough has been happening. The Lakers thus far have only agreed to a 2-year, $12 million deal with Jake Laravia. He played last season with both the Memphis Grizzlies and the Sacramento Kings. I will be honest, I have seen Jake Laravia play before. He's been in the league a few years. I am familiar with him as a player, but he's not somebody that I have really paid super close attention to.
My favorite thing today from the shows was that people were calling him Jake LaMotta. From Raging Bull.
Oh, I can tell you right now, most Laker fans, and this is no shade, I don't blame you, most Laker fans I do not think are familiar with Laravia. He's only been in the league a few years.
A lot of the comments were who?
Yeah. Again, I'm not calling you all out for being casuals. This is a guy that has been, the 6th or 7th man in Memphis or Sacramento. No shade, but I think a lot of Laker fans are going to be learning more about who he is for what it's worth. I reached out to a couple sources. One of them were the guys over at Locked On Grizzlies, Joe Mullinex and DeMichael Cole. Joe Mullinex said that, quote, he's a fine end of the rotation 3-and-D type. I like him on that type of deal. There's an outside shot he thought he could actually outplay Rui and start by the end of the year, that his shooting form and technique is very good for what it's worth. He had by far his best season ever as an outside shooter. He was about 42% from behind the arc. Not crazy high volume, so we need to see what this looks like with him hopefully taking more threes with the Lakers next season. He also said that from DeMichael Cole that, let me find this really quick, really good hands defensively, active on-ball defender with his hands, can rebound well, has a little wiggle offensively, can shoot, but past season was the first year he really started putting things together. Then I talked with someone who covered Laravia with the Kings, and he only played about 20 games, I think, with the Kings post-trade. Quote, his defense is his calling card. Surprisingly athletic, code for white dude. Strong and scrappy. The offensive bag is limited. He's a role player, hustle guy, hard worker, chip on his shoulder. Kings fans really wanted him back. So I think in some ways he profiles as a DFS replacement of sort that you're looking for as a young guy, maybe having more upside even as a role player. Like you're hoping that he can hit and improve as a role player more than DFS would have as somebody in decline. Like DFS is 32. He's been having more injuries. He just came off an ankle surgery this offseason. That ankle was bothering him all last year in Brooklyn and also with the Lakers. Apparently, I didn't even realize this till Dave McMenamin reported. Like this ankle injury is something he's dealt with for a few seasons. The contract I think DFS is on for Houston, it's not a bad deal, but the last couple of years of it, I could see being one that's like, ugh. So I think that's the hope, DeAndre, that the Lakers are looking for with Laravia.
That Houston contract with DFS is perfect for that team, especially what role he would be playing in, because they got a lot of other guys who are in the young, as far as younger assets on that team. So they're not really focusing in. They're looking for DFS to be that guy. They like we thought he would be with the Lakers. Yeah, 3-and-D guy. But obviously the role increased more for DFS, especially going into the playoffs. Obviously, with his ability to be able to switch on to bigger centers, and that's what they had to do when they call a quote unquote smaller ball lineup. So that's what Lakers thrived off of him for.
Look, they're taking an upside flyer on Laravia that he can be enough of a replacement that you don't miss DFS too much, and also one hopes they are not even close to done, whether in free agency or trades. Let's take a couple calls. Brett in Hollywood, you're on Lakers Talk. What's up, Brett?
Hey, what's up? Hey. Yeah, I was just going to say, only started listening a couple minutes ago. I missed a lot. But it feels to me like Dan Gilbert is finally smiling and has finally exhaled.
In what sense?
Well, the CBA has changed so much that your star player cannot hold your franchise and your city to the degree that LeBron did when Gilbert wrote that really crazy letter that we didn't forget about for like 6 years.
Oh, yeah, the Comic Sans font letter. I mean, I appreciate the call, Jake. Yeah. Excuse me, Brett, I appreciate the call. The CBA has changed, but the biggest thing that's changed is LeBron's 41. Like, he's going to be 41 in December. He's going to be 23 seasons in. And as much as I do think the Lakers genuinely value the partnership that they've had with LeBron, they value what it means for LeBron to be here. And LeBron is still playing at a high level. Like, he made second-team All-NBA last year. He is still a very good player. But there's only so much longer you're going to be doing this with LeBron anyway. So the threat of an exit only means so much if you knew that the exit point is in the very near horizon regardless. So there's only so much you can hold that threat hostage over the Lakers the way Brett talked about it when you know this is happening at some point anyway.
And if LeBron were to leave, and if we're able to find a trade and find a solution for that, like the Lakers can then shift on to the next thing, which is build around Luka Doncic.
Right.
That's your franchise player. Build around him.
At this point, if LeBron leaves, other than next offseason, it's in a trade, which means the Lakers get something for his exit, which means, in theory, they can either be as good as they were with LeBron, maybe more depth, and the depth makes up for the star talent, or they just become better. But regardless, they at least get something, as opposed to if he had walked, just opted out and walked, the Lakers would be worse. Matthew in Moreno Valley, you're on Lakers Talk. What's up, Matthew?
Yes, hello.
Hey.
First-time caller.
Thanks.
I like your guys' network, and so what I wanted to say is that I'm pretty calm about this whole situation, and I get a little bit frustrated and irritated with the Lakers fan base because I feel like we have a huge tendency to overreact, like saying, oh my gosh, fire Rob Pelinka. And I'm sure you guys feel the same. We're not, at least not right now. I mean, Mark Walters hasn't even been, properly introduced. They're still finding out the financial situation. We still have the biannual exception. We still have the $8.2 million, which we're all crossing our fingers that DeAndre Ayton signs that contract. I mean, there's a lot of pieces to come into play before we can say, oh, this was a shitty, pardon my French, a crappy.
Yeah, please do pardon it more before you come on. I appreciate the call there. Give it a chance. Yeah, give Rob some time to cook, I guess. But the patience for Rob Pelinka is going to be low with this fan base, if we're being honest, because I don't think the confidence has ever fully been there for Rob in the first place. So the patience when you don't believe in the guy to begin with is going to be pretty small and only will get smaller depending on what the Lakers do or do not do in free agency. One more call before we get to Shawn Davis. Greg in Sherman Oaks, you're on Lakers Talk. What's up, Greg?
What's going on, fellas? How are you?
Good.
I'm just curious, with LeBron being CP3's boy, how come there's no talk of Chris Paul coming here to be a floor general for that second unit with the Lakers?
Say that one more time, please.
Well, how come there's no talk of Chris Paul joining his boy LeBron?
Oh, there has been. There actually, real quick, I appreciate the call, Greg. There actually has been talk about that. Chris Paul recently, I want to say on the McAfee show, said that he wants to keep playing, but his family's in L.A. He wants to have a more active role as a dad, and he would like to play close to them, which basically means Lakers, Clippers, maybe Phoenix.
I've been hearing Phoenix and Clippers.
Well,
all
look,
day.
man, his season with Phoenix was the only season they've ever gone, or it's the only season they've gone to the finals since '93 with Barkley.
And the best years the Clippers ever had was when CP3 has their point guard.
Yeah, I mean, look, Chris Paul has a history of wearing on teammates in locker rooms after a while. I know that he grates a lot of fans. He is he's a known nut puncher, but teams tend to do better, at least at the outset when Chris Paul is there. Like, Chris Paul raises teams' floors consistently. That is just
And I don't know how he would fit in with his Laker team.
I think if you bring in Chris Paul, you are looking to move Gabe Vincent. That would be my thought, is that DeAndre's shaking his head. What's up?
Sorry, love Chris Paul. Not with the Lakers. Don't think it's a great fit at all.
Okay.
Chris Paul needs the ball in his hands, and he needs to be the one to orchestrate and distribute the offense. When you got guys like Austin Reaves who needs the ball in his hands to create a shot, not good off the ball. Luka Doncic needs the ball in his hands, and LeBron obviously is going to need the ball in his hands. Well,
CP would be, in my mind at least, he's coming off the bench. Like, this is not a starting job for Chris Paul.
Of course, but like Chris Paul doesn't really. If he comes off the bench, how much of that moves the needle for them as far as him being at this point of his career?
I mean, last year's bench couldn't score at all. They couldn't do anything. He might have been helpful along those lines as an organizer.
Point, I'm taking Gabe Vincent than Chris Paul right now at this point of his career. That's all. Chris Paul it would be great with the Clippers as far as being that starting point guard role, move James Harden to the 2 and kind of play off of that. But as far as what the Lakers have right now, I just don't think Chris Paul's a good fit.
Reginald in London. You're on Lakers Talk. What's up, Reginald?
Hey, Andy, I come to your other show all the time. Look, I was up.
You mean Locked On Lakers?
Here's the issue.
Available
Yeah,
5 days a
Locked On
week
Lakers,
every week.
American boy, you know my name. Yeah. But listen, here's the issue for the Lakers. New CBA, the successful teams know how to evaluate talent. The Lakers have shown for a decade now that they cannot evaluate talent. They had top picks in the draft several years in a row, missed every year, chose to invest in THT. They miss every year, every pick. There's a burn of assets. They pay to get players that don't work out. They cannot evaluate talent. All they can do is hope the stars align and a star falls in their lap, and they get an Anthony Davis or they get a Luka, or people go back with how they got Shaq. In this new CBA, you have to evaluate talent. That's why Indiana did well. That's why Oklahoma City did well. They can evaluate talent. If you look at those rosters, if you look at how much they paid those teams, you know, that's what true talent evaluation looks like. And that's what the new CBA has made all teams. Lakers, I agree with you, the greatest franchise in all of sports. But that doesn't matter now because the playing field is completely equal.
Well, Reginald, I'm up against it. I got to let you go. I appreciate the call, and I actually think I know who this guy is from the Locked On Lakers YouTube channel comments section, if I'm thinking of the right guy. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. I don't agree that the Lakers are not good at evaluating, at the very least, young talent, because their scouting department, if you look through their drafts, whether they're drafting high, whether they're drafting late in the first round, second round, even some undrafted guys, I think they've been very good at identifying talent. Nobody's 100% perfect, but they have not had a lot of, particularly when they've had good picks, really wild misses. What I do agree, though, with Reginald, and this is something the Lakers are going to have to move forward better with in this new climate with this new CBA, they're going to have to be more committed towards developing young talent and really committing to developing these guys as players, as opposed to just thinking of them as future assets for the stars they're eventually going to trade for. The Lakers in general need to become better at minding the details, and they need to become more willing to develop young, cost-controlled players, finding guys that are diamonds in the rough, high upside guys, something they're hoping with like Jake Laravia. They need to become better at that stuff, and I think they need to be better at valuing that part of team building as opposed to just looking for LeBron, Luka, Anthony Davis. I can tell you go get those guys. That's not hard. It's finding the team and skill sets to put around them. That's really what separates the best front offices out there. Coming up, speaking of guys who can evaluate talent, Shawn Davis from the Los Angeles Lakers Network. He's going to be joining Lakers Talk. Andy Kamenetzky, 710 ESPN.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News and World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Flashy discounts, gimmicky sales? Don't fall for it. At Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, we give you honest, wholesale pricing all year long. No bogus markups, no tricks, just the best floors at the best prices. Call 866-62-FLOOR. No sale beats wholesale. Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, check them out at hernandezwholesaleflooring.net or call them at 866-62-FLOOR.
For the best prices on hardwood carpet and more, call 866-62-FLOOR.
Ever feel like the road is out to... Thankfully, Hyundai is always working to ensure it doesn't, with over 130 IIHS Top Safety Awards since 2006. IIHS Top Safety Awards include Top Safety Pick and Top Safety Pick Plus awards to Hyundai vehicles from 2006 to 2025.
Now for a limited time, lease a Hyundai Tucson for only $259 a month. Or get 2.99% APR. See your SoCal Hyundai dealer. Offers end July 7th. Call 714-568-7676 for details.
An off-season edition of Lakers Talk continues on 710 ESPN.
It's really about making Luka happy, and thus far, Luka seems to be happy. Laker fans should definitely be happy about this. Like, this This is a really exciting moment for Lakers fans, for the Lakers franchise.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today.
More Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetzky rolls on.
Lakers Talk, Andy Kamenetzky, 710 ESPN. We are joined by Shawn Davis with NBA free agency in full swing. The Lakers are on the phones trying to get in on the action, making some moves, and that is why I want one of the best out there for Lakers coverage. Shawn Davis, he is the host of the Los Angeles Lakers Network. You can follow him on Twitter at SEAN_DAVI. Shawn, how are you, man?
Doing good, Andy. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Let's start with the elephant in the room. LeBron opted into his $52-ish million player option, but there were some comments from Rich Paul reminding that LeBron wants to play for championships, appreciates the partnerships with the Lakers, but understands the future is with Luka, wants to keep the option open, watching moves this offseason. What do you make of these comments, and how do you think the Lakers should react to them?
I was a little annoyed by the comments personally, only because, and I broke this down in a video that I released or it might have been this morning, that this has kind of been a playbook card, if you will, that LeBron's pulled throughout his entire career, specifically dating back to Miami, second stint Cleveland. And back then, I feel like it was a little bit more effective, like 2018, more notoriously, right? Like, the GM, he's very upset with the front office, pressures them to make a deal, and they made a bunch of deals, hopefully make a finals push. And what I said in the video that I released this morning was essentially, look, I feel like every time LeBron or Clutch and Rich Paul have tried to put pressure on the Lakers since his tenure here, it's kind of backfired and it hasn't worked in their favor. If we go, AD trade does not count. That is a layup. You do not get credit for that. Every positive trade that has happened in the LeBron era as a Laker has kind of been low-key, not from LeBron and his camp pressuring the Lakers.
Provide an example. What's an example you're thinking of, a positive one that had nothing to do with LeBron?
Oh, very, very clearly the Dorian Finney-Smith trade, for one, yes. But I was really about to go towards D'Lo, Malik Beasley, Jerry Vanderbilt.
Okay. Nothing
to do with LeBron necessarily. The Luka deal, obviously, nothing to do with LeBron. And there was a fourth one that I had that for some reason isn't coming to my head right now. But I feel like each time LeBron and his camp tries to put pressure on the front office, it just goes to the league, and the league, from what we know, are not particularly fond of Rob Pelinka for the most part. I'm really happy for him. That's another trade that just came out of thin air.
Yeah.
That's very positive for the Lakers. And all this does, for the most part, is just get teams to have outrageous asking prices. Says, hey, look, you have to appease LeBron. You're desperate. Give us 3 first-round picks for Cam Johnson. Like, dog, no, what are we doing? And Cam Johnson goes for Michael Porter Jr. in the first today. Like, come on, man.
It's interesting.
I was a little annoyed.
It's interesting, too, Shawn. We're talking with Shawn Davis from the Los Angeles Lakers Network. Lakers Talk, Andy Kamenetzky, 710 ESPN. I feel like there's only so much pressure LeBron can even apply with the Lakers. Like, in a lot of ways, he lost it once he opted in. And I think at that point, the whatever control dynamics, power dynamics there were, they shifted back to the Lakers because, the end with LeBron is coming at some point soon anyway. So if that's the case, there's only so much you can leverage the fear of an exit. If you know that that's going to be happening at some point, a trade for LeBron is exceptionally complicated to pull off, even if all parties involved, including LeBron, are trying to act in the best faith possible. So in that sense, it's not a snap your fingers and make it happen proposition, even if you think LeBron still has all the juice in his prime. Like, there's only so much he can really try to force to happen right now anyway.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And to your point, like, I think the rest of the NBA also is like, okay, cool. If Braun wants to leave or whatever, I don't know how many teams in the league right now are going to even be interested. I think there's at the most 3 teams that would potentially throw Lakers an offer. Let's say if it got to that stage and LeBron's demanding a trade or whatever the case may be. So this is definitely unprecedented and interesting if we're talking about the LeBron Lakers era. And this is easily the first time in LeBron's tenure as a Laker. He's not been a Laker like longer than his first stint in Cleveland.
Yeah.
This is the first time where very clearly they are not on the same page in terms of direction and current vision for the roster. And it's going to be interesting how the next month and a half or so is going to play out.
Well, that's interesting, Shawn. We're talking with Shawn Davis, the host of the Los Angeles Lakers Network. You can follow him on Twitter at Shawn, SEAN_DAVI. How mutually exclusive do you think building with Luka, big picture, and LeBron now in the present have to be? Like, are they completely separate things? Do you think the Lakers can make both guys relatively happy?
I think they could. They seem really set on the idea of opening up cap space in 2027, which
26 or 27,
paper,
you mean?
27. In Dave McMenamin's
Interesting.
ESPN article they just released, or that was released earlier, talking about the Jake Laravia signing, discussed that they are set on having cap space open for 2027. And again, on paper, the 2027 class looks fine. It looks actually really good, actually. But it looks really good because all those stars are just now becoming extension eligible and have not put pen to paper yet. Like, I was just looking at it. If you look at the 2027 free agency class, 39-year-old Steph Curry, 32, about to be 33-year-old Giannis. By the way, if he even makes it here, okay, then cool, great. I think in the current landscape of the NBA, stars from a player perspective and a team perspective, it just makes more sense to get the extension done. From a team perspective, you don't want to lose the asset for nothing. And as a player, you want to maximize your earnings. 34-year-old AD, 32-year-old Jokic, 31-year-old Cat, about to be 31-year-old Donovan Mitchell, Kawhi's a free agent, James Harden, like Shea. So, like, on paper, the class looks great. But like every class does at this point, 70% of the top, if not almost all the top names in air quotes from this class as of right now are going to be signed in 3 months. Are going to have extensions done in 3 months. I think Shea's extension eligible this offseason. Luka, obviously, that's been widely discussed. Trae Young, extension eligible. Jokic and Giannis can become the highest paid players in NBA history almost nearly. So why would these players not sign extensions? Even if they are upset. Like I said, Giannis should just get his money and then ask out. Rather than become a free agent and potentially sign $20 million, depending on who has cap space. So I just don't think betting on cap space in 2 years is a wise decision.
Talking with Shawn Davis, the host of the Los Angeles Lakers Network. You can follow him on Twitter at SEAN_DAVI. Lakers talking Andy Kamenetzky, 710 ESPN. Jake Laravia reportedly agreed to a 2-year, $12 million deal with the Lakers, part of the full mid-level exception that they opened up when DFS took his deal reportedly with Houston. It seems in some ways like they could be looking for Laravia to be a theoretical DFS replacement. Is that your read on it? What do you think of the signing in general?
The DFS signing, the Jake Laravia signing, I don't think is a fair replacement for DFS. I think if you were to compare them one-to-one, then okay, sure. I think Laravia could possibly have equal value to what you got from Dorian Finney-Smith this season. I think that is a possible outcome. I think the three-point shooting, I think he's solid enough of a defender, has some decent enough chops in terms of perimeter isolation defense. Not the Actually, no, he is. I think he is a really good offensive rebounder, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, actually, I looked up some numbers like everybody. I'm starting to do deep dives on Jake Laravia that I never thought I'd be doing before. And the metrics seem to consistently show pretty solid offensive rebounder for his position and size.
Yeah, and then you combine that with the granted low volume 3-point shooting, some of the connected playmaking stuff they provide. I mean, it's cool. I think he's a fine player. I actually really liked him coming out in the 2022 draft. But if this is so I put out on Twitter or X, I apologize, at Shawn _DAVI that, the three biggest needs is just a complete overhaul of the center rotation. They need a Gabe Vincent replacement, in my opinion, not a replacement, upgrade. And then 3 was just getting more athletic on the wing and just getting some more upside along the wing. If Jake Laravia is the fill-in for that third spot, if we call it, then I'm not really satisfied. I think Laravia's fine. He's a nice player, but I would feel a lot better if it's Laravia and Andrew Wiggins trade, for example. This feels more like a dunk neck replacement, potentially.
Well, and I think ultimately the Lakers, if they really want to make big moves, regardless of who they get or don't get in free agency, it was going to have to be through trade because they simply didn't, even when they opened up a full mid-level, they didn't have the availability to really be free agency players. Last thing I wanted to get into with you, the center market free agency wise, pretty thin to begin with. It's been drying up. The Lakers have about, I think, $8 million to spend. DeAndre Ayton, to the best of my knowledge, still out there. Mo Wagner. I don't know if I'm missing anyone, but are any of those guys interesting to you, or do you think they need to be looking pretty aggressively for a trade to fill that part of it?
I'm all in on getting DeAndre Ayton personally. I think you have a little bit more than $8 million left of your full mid-level exception that you can use to go get DeAndre Ayton. So that's where my mind immediately goes. Use that to go get Ayton, and then your second big needs to be probably acquired via trade. Like if there is any outlet that you could get a Goga Batadze, for example,
I like Batadze.
If you could get him to be your backup 5, and then I doubt this happens based off how the end of the season went, but if you somehow are able to bring back Jackson Hayes to be the third big here, awesome sauce. Or depending on what Al Horford's market is, if you wanted to go, 8.2 or whatever it is of your MLE to go get DeAndre Ayton, and then you use the biannual, which is slightly more than $5 million, if I remember correctly, to go get Al Horford. Cool. There's your small ball 5. JJ Redick wants to, have the option of doing that. He can play the 4 in some bigger lineups, space the floor with him and Ayton together. But the priority number 1 needs to be going to get DeAndre Ayton and then finding a way to get a second big via trade or getting creative money-wise.
He is Shawn Davis. He is the host of the Los Angeles Lakers Network. You can follow him on Twitter at SEAN_DAVI. Make sure you are subscribed on YouTube to the Los Angeles Lakers Network. Appreciate the time, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, coming up, 877-710-ESPN. React to anything Shawn said, anything going on with free agency. I know Anthony Ohio wants to talk a little more DeAndre Ayton. We will get to that. Lakers talk. Andy Kamenetzky, 710 ESPN.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as 1 day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
NextGen is the official heating, plumbing, and electrical company of SoCal sports fans and is the absolute best in the biz with thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Get ready to beat the summer heat with NextGen. For a limited time, enjoy a free whole home air cleaner with any new AC installation. Call 833-3NEXTGen. That's 833-3NEXGEN to book your appointment. CSLB number 1011173. NextGen, here for you now and for years to come.
NEXGEN, call 833-3NEXTGen.
Do your summer plans include travel? Make sure your prep includes more than just flights and hotels. Stay up to date with COVID-19 vaccination, especially if you're 65 or older or have certain health conditions. There have been surges in COVID-19 in the summer, too. It's important to help protect yourself no matter your destination. So check eligibility and schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. That's VAXAssist.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-329-2121. That's 800-329-2121. Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
In a world parched for excitement, one drink will emerge. Twisted Tea, the refreshing thrill ride of flavor. Recreating its classic role as the hard iced tea that goes down smooth. Twisted Tea doesn't just taste like real iced tea, it's made with real brewed tea and a 5% kick of alcohol. Taste the adventure with Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
710 ESPN.
The radio home of the purple and gold and the home of Lakers talk.
Think about Lakers exceptionalism with increased competency, with increased expertise. Think about how much better the Lakers become if they have literally every advantage they can have. Like, that is a potential game changer.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today.
More Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetzky rolls on.
Anywhere from like 1,000 to 1,200 people hanging out during the show. Thank you very, very much for being here and for watching, listening, both, whatever. Very much appreciated. Thanks again to Shawn Davis from the Los Angeles Lakers Network. Make sure you're watching Shawn as well after this show, obviously. But make sure you are watching Shawn. Let's get to a few more calls. Anthony in Cambridge, Ohio. I don't even know where that is. You're on Lakers Talk. What's up, Anthony?
Hi, huge shout out to Shawn. Huge shout out to you. I'm a big Lakers fan. I watch Lakers Nation. I enjoy the Lakers. I love us winning. We need to get back to winning. We didn't have a parade in 2020. We need to bring a parade in 2025, 2026 season. Go Luka, go LeBron. Bring DeAndre Ayton. LeBron, call DeAndre Ayton, please. We just need him. We need somebody to catch the lob from Luka. LeBron's going to pace in space. You already know LeBron's going to do it all. And on top of that, Andrew Wiggins trade. Let's do that. I didn't even think on that. I'm actually really wanting that trade now. I believe that's the missing piece that we need. That's only 2 players.
Well,
we just sold the company. We just sold everything for $10 billion. We got the money. Let's go win one. That's what it takes.
Well, I appreciate the call. Appreciate the call there, and that's actually one of the rumors that's been out there that the Lakers and Heat have been talking about. Basically, a package that the centerpieces of it would be Rui for Andrew Wiggins. It could be expanded to involve more players. There's been some questions about draft equity going back and forth. Rui's an expiring. Andrew Wiggins is owed, I want to say, between $55 and $60 million over the next couple of seasons. Andrew Wiggins is a more versatile defender than Rui. He is not as good of a pure shooter, but he is probably, if nothing else, he's been a more prolific scorer over the course of his career than Rui. The last few years, though, with Wiggins, he's had a lot going on in his personal life, which obviously a lot of empathy for that. I don't know the particulars, but I think it has to do with family, and that's obviously really difficult for Wiggins to deal with. But at the same time, you have to be cognizant of that if you're going to be trading for him, particularly if it involves a player like Rui that, while imperfect, I think does play very well with LeBron, with Rui, with Luka Doncic. So something to consider. But there is a lot that Andrew Wiggins can do if he's really dialed in that I think Rui just isn't capable of, because they're different types of players, specifically as defenders. David in Fontana, you're on Lakers Talk. What's up, David?
Hey, Andy, what's up? I actually agree with the previous caller. I'm wondering what the hang-up is on the Andrew Wiggins trade. So I've heard Rui, like you're talking about, as well as Gabe Vincent. What's stopping the Lakers from getting this to the finish line?
It's my understanding. I'm trying to remember this. Appreciate the call. Trying to remember this a little bit off the top of my head, but I believe it has to do with draft capital that I think Miami wants for Andrew Wiggins from the Lakers. And in the case of the Lakers, you'd have to be giving up that first, because the Lakers don't really have any other trade. They don't have any other picks that they can trade right now. They could maybe do swaps or whatever, but they don't have anything they could trade right now. And I imagine from the Lakers' perspective, they would say, we are getting you off Andrew Wiggins' money, and we should not have to give you a first-round pick for doing that. We're helping clean your books and giving you a player in Rui that can help you right now. So that should be enough. So it's based on what I am remembering from reading some of these reports, that's been one of the holdups. Thomas in Chicago, you're on Lakers Talk. What's up, Thomas?
Hey, thanks, AK. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Question. I read something about how this is kind of maybe like a two-parter, but the whole how Austin Reaves contract situation, how it's he wants more money, but it's I think we saw the playoffs, what his limitations are, what his floor is. But then I saw another one, how apparently looking for a max contract player to go with Luka. So it's well, then how does you see these second aprons, people Brooklyn's the only team this offseason that has cap space. So how I just don't know if they're saying this, they're talking out both sides of their mouths, or they're just throwing stuff. So it's plan A, plan B, plan C. It's again, I think it's just the whole vision. I just want to get your thoughts on the whole where what's the vision between Reaves and whoever this next max player they're looking at to pair with Luka if LeBron does leave. So I just want to get your thoughts on that.
Well, it's interesting. I appreciate the call. As far as where Austin fits into all of this, this is his last year, for people who are unaware, as one of the league's best bargains. He declined the ability to get extended this offseason. It would have been 4 years, $89 million, because he is set to, short of an injury or major down season, he will be eligible to make in the hundreds of millions of dollars. The max he could make is about $5 and $250, and I would be surprised if he got that much from the Lakers or any team. I don't think Austin is at that level, but I do think he is going to get, whether from the Lakers or somebody else, $30 to $40 million. I think that is the type of player that Austin is considered around the league. He is considered, I think, an all-star adjacent level player. What I think is complicated about this for the Lakers is, A, the idea of if X percentage of your cap is taken up with Austin and Luka, even though they are both very good players. You know, Luka's obviously one of the superstars of the league. Austin Reaves is a very good player. I think they have a lot of similar weaknesses. And to me, I think especially in this new CBA that is so punitive and becomes so difficult to build with aprons and stuff like that, and the Lakers having so little access to younger, cost-controlled players, I have my doubts about whether or not they're going to be able to put the roster around Luka and Austin that they want to without one of those guys being a true two-way player. Like, I don't know if in the modern NBA with this new CBA, you can really build a championship team where one of your two highest paid players is not a true two-way player, unless you're talking about a situation where, like OKC, one of those guys is still on a rookie scale deal, like a Jalen Williams. Like, that's a different story. Or he just got an extension, I believe, but he had been operating on that. Or maybe the exception is someone like Jokic, who the next best player alongside him, Jamal Murray, is not a two-way player, but Jokic is so damn good, he's his own category. But for the most part, I think one of your two highest paid players has to be a two-way player, or you need access to young, cost-control players to put around them. The Lakers, for the time being, have little to none of that, much less in two-way players. So that's my biggest concern about Luka and Austin together, even though I think Luka's obviously one of the best players in the league, top 5 player when he's healthy, and Austin's a very good player. It's about the combination of those two together in this CBA. It's a math problem more than either one of them. Greg in Downey, you're on Lakers Talk. What's up, Greg?
Yes, sir. First-time caller.
Thanks.
This more or less is almost like the last caller. With LeBron opting in, with, let's say we did lose Braun. Let's say he went somewhere else. Do you think there's a chance Luka might say no and might not sign?
Okay, that's an interesting question. Appreciate the call there, Greg. My hope, hell, I'll say my assumption, because this is what any semi-competent front office would be doing. They're in conversations with Luka. They are running stuff past Luka. They are finding out. For example, I got a question in the YouTube chat, and I apologize that I'm not pulling up exactly who this was from, but someone asking if DFS walking would be bad for getting Luka to extend, because Luka and DFS are very close friends. DFS is one of Luka's best friends in the league. My thought is the Lakers should have run this past Luka. And if they gave him an explanation as to why they weren't willing to match that offer or even exceed it for DFS, and Luka says it's okay, then it's okay. If Luka's not happy about it, then you really need to make sure you are making up for it in different ways. And again, that you are in constant communication with Luka. The worst thing that the Lakers could be doing right now is attempting to read Luka's mind and just try to piece together from a player that they really don't know that well, what do we think Luka wants? No, you should know what Luka wants. You should be in continual conversations with Luka. If you're not, you're doing this wrong. Real quick before we get to crunch time, Eric in Long Beach, you're on Lakers Talk. What's up, Eric?
Hey, Andy. Love the show. Thanks, the show. Real quick, as far as Andrew Wiggins goes, what world am I living in where Andrew Wiggins, people are calling in saying that they want us to trade for Andrew Wiggins, especially adding a first-round draft pick? Am I the only one that has any?
Well, I would not. I would potentially make the trade potentially for Wiggins. I would not do it with a first. I would draw the line there. If I'm going to use that first, it needs to be for a longer-term fit than Wiggins.
Why would we want Andrew Wiggins, though? He literally got paid on this last contract based on one good postseason he had with Golden State, and he got paid off that contract. Before that, he's been very inconsistent for his entire career. He's not done anything else to show that he's not that player. Like, I don't understand why people are clamoring for Andrew Wiggins. He's not what the Lakers need on this team going forward. I'm sorry, that is not the dude.
I appreciate the call there, Eric. And look, there's reason to be skeptical with Wiggins. Like I talked about before, the last couple of years he's been dealing with personal issues that, you can have empathy towards that, and I do. But at the same time, it seems to have affected him on the court. Wiggins had always been very up and down, inconsistent in Minnesota before his time with Golden State. And clearly the peak season for Andrew Wiggins was the year where they won the championship. Like Andrew Wiggins was really good that year, but he's not been consistently that guy since then. And that would be the trepidation about trading for Wiggins, is just that you don't quite know what you're going to be getting from him, as opposed to someone like Rui, for example, who has his flaws, but I think at this point what you're going to get from Rui. Like, I think Rui is actually pretty consistent even as a flawed player. I think you have a pretty good idea what Rui is, and you have a pretty good idea that he fits well with LeBron, with Luka, with Austin, and the culture of this team. So that's the type of stuff that Rob Pelinka has to mull over. Coming up, as always, we will close out with some crunch time. Funchy's got the topics. DeAndre and I will weigh in. Lakers Talk, Andy Kamenetzky, 710 ESPN.
Don't miss Travis and DeMarco.
Live from LA Live. Back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
That's a bad deal.
Trev?
Because I stunk, not because of anything I did. Like, I was not a problematic teammate. I was not a chirper back at the coach. When I got benched, it's because I couldn't get anybody out.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get to pitch anymore. Why? Because you don't get anybody out. Oh, it's a hard thing to argue.
Travis Rogers and DeMarco Farr.
On 710 ESPN.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
Hey, it's me. So as a sports fan, you always want your team to be well coached and to win. And you know who's always winning? My guy, Jacob. Think about it. If you've been injured in a car accident, a slip and fall at a store, rideshare accident, whatever it is, you feel like you lost. Call Jacob. He knows the opponent's weaknesses, how to exploit them, and attack the insurance company to provide you the win you deserve. 844-24-JACOB, or remember, calljacob.com.
Call Jacob.
USC football is more than a game. It's tradition, pride, and unforgettable Saturdays in the Coliseum. Be there for every kickoff, every touchdown, and every unforgettable moment this season. Secure your football season tickets today and lock in the best seats, exclusive fan benefits, and memories that last a lifetime. Don't miss out. We need you in the stands. Visit USCTrojans.com or call 213-740-GO-SC.
Hey, it's Cap. Inheriting a home can be overwhelming, but Seller's Advantage makes it easy. One customer shared, quote, "Inheriting a home felt like too much work. Seller's Advantage gave us a reasonable offer, handled everything, and closed in 3 weeks. I highly recommend them. Skip repairs and headaches. Call Seller's Advantage today at 888-390-AS-IS or visit sellersadvantage.com for your free cash offer.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
It's crunch time on Lakers Talk.
When the clock is ticking and it's all coming down to the wire, you know what that means.
This is crunch time.
Okay, the closing stretch is always crunch time. Funchy's going to throw out some topics. DeAndre and I are going to react. What you got, Funchy?
All right, big day for free agency. First day of free agency. What was your favorite signing or the best signing today?
Probably Nickeil Alexander-Walker going to the Hawks. 4 years, I believe $62 million, which, by the way, for Laker fans, just understand, out of the Lakers' price range. Like, the Lakers could not have signed Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who I think would have been a great fit, would have been an awesome wing for some of the needs that they have. He was very good against the Lakers in the first round of the playoffs with the Timberwolves.
Rumored to go to the Lakers, too. Everyone wanted him. That was,
he was not rumored to be going to the Lakers. He was just very much who Laker fans were trying to talk into, speak into existence as a Laker. That was always incredibly unlikely, but I think 4 and 62 is a pretty good price for Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and the Hawks have had a nice couple months, man. They've been doing some good work.
DeAndre, what was your favorite signing today?
Dorian Finney-Smith and Clint Capella going to the Rockets, because now they just added more to what they already had. The Rockets have had a busy offseason, especially with the trade for Kevin Durant. They felt like Kevin Durant was that missing guy as far as someone to go down through in the stretch to close out games. So obviously, adding Kevin Durant, adding Dorian Finney-Smith to already that young, talented defensive backcourt and front court. I mean, this Houston Rockets team is going to be dangerous in the West.
My favorite signing today, D'Lo to Dallas for only 2 years and $13 million. Has a stopgap between now until Kyrie comes back.
I actually think that's a pretty good placeholder for Dallas. Like, I know D'Lo's got his playoff issues and he's got flaws himself as a player, but they're hoping that Kyrie comes back at some point this season. If Kyrie doesn't come back, then honestly, they're not going very far in the playoffs anyway. But when D'Lo is on, he can be a really good player. In the meantime, he and AD play really well
Can
together.
I say something, too?
They play very well
NBA
together.
Twitter was going crazy that these guys are reunited. I saw someone post up an 18-minute mixtape of these guys together.
I'm telling you, they play really well off
playing
each
well,
other.
the pick and rolls and everything. Yes.
This is one of the things, and this is not like eye test or me memory holding things the way I want to. You can look up this stuff. They track it on NBA.com. Nobody over the last couple years passed the ball to Anthony Davis more than D'Angelo Russell. Like, period. This is quantifiable data. He looked for Anthony Davis at a time when Darvin and then especially JJ was stressing Anthony Davis is our number one option. D'Lo was looking for him more than anyone.
All right, guys. You did a
DeAndre's shaking his head. Why are you shaking your head, DeAndre?
He doesn't like D'Angelo. No.
I think he's a very talented offensive player.
You don't like him.
It takes
What did he
both
do to
ways.
you?
Both ways of the floor, brother. You got to play on both ends, man. That's all I got to say.
All right, we talked about the favorite or, best signings today. What is the worst signing or worst move today?
Worst is not the way I would phrase it, but I am curious how Houston is going to handle having three, at minimum, Alperen Şengün is an all-star level center, but Şengün, Steven Adams, Clint Capella, all on the same roster, all going to be expecting playing time. And even someone like Steven Adams, who's a veteran, I know he's there in part for the locker room, he got paid enough money that he is going to expect to play, or at the very least the Rockets front office is going to expect him to play. It's a lot of center. That's a lot of center money, not a lot of center minutes. So I'm curious how that's going to play out.
DeAndre, worst move today?
Worst move?
Don't say Jake Laravia.
I'm not gonna say it. No. I don't know. I have to look back into that.
Excellent answer.
I don't know. I wouldn't say majority of these moves have been bad.
You know what's another sort of weird one? And I get it. Kevon Looney, 2 years, $16 million with the Pelicans.
I get that.
I get it. Like, they need somebody to be the adult in that particular DeJounte Murray.
Yeah, we need adults in the locker room, man.
Oh, I got one.
Okay.
The Nets trading Cam Johnson to the Denver Nuggets.
You don't like that?
I like it for Denver. Don't like it for Brooklyn as far as receiving Michael Porter Jr.
It's an interesting move by Brooklyn.
And what is Brooklyn doing with all the draft picks and this?
Well, before they traded for someone like Michael Porter Jr., I thought maybe they're just going into full-on rebuild mode, get as many young players as possible.
Can I say something? Isn't it seem like they've been in a rebuild mode for like 10 years?
You mean they're competitive with Joe Johnson?
I mean, ever since they moved off of KG and Paul Pierce and all those guys, they've been rebuilding.
Williams.
It's worth noting before we go that you said doesn't it seem like they've been in rebuild for 10 years, that they had like 3 seasons of KD, Kyrie, and Harden. And you're like, doesn't it seem like they've been that way for 10 years? Thanks to Shawn Davis. Thanks to Matt Peralta for stopping by. Thanks to all of you in the YouTube chat. Times 1,200 strong. Thank you very much. Obviously, thanks to Funchy. Thanks to